Welcome to Coyote News. I'm Brent. Today's topic, global warming, fact or fiction? Recent reports from the Renegade Science Coalition, IPCC, International Panel on Climate Change, indicate that anthropogenic forces are contributing to global warming. I don't know what anthropogenic means, but I don't like it. So we have some climate guy named Neil Diamond, maybe Neil Young. I'm not really sure. It might just be Neil. He might just have one name like Cher. So yeah, he created a little video for us to explain what climate science is. Check it out.
I'm here to give you some facts about climate change. You can't argue with the fact that the Earth is warming, and it is occurring at a rate never before seen by humans. Changes in temperature throughout history correspond almost exactly with atmospheric CO2 levels, and since humans have caused CO2 levels to skyrocket, it is no wonder that the temperature is also increasing. Anthropogenic climate change is a fact. Evidence of it is apparent throughout the world, especially in the polar regions like Alaska. Climate change is the greatest threat to our planet today. It's our Earth. Let's protect it.
Alright, so we have Neil with us, the guy who made that special little video. Now Neil, in the video you mentioned a lot about fact. What do you mean by fact?
By fact, I mean scientific evidence collected over countless years by countless numbers of researchers over the entire globe. The amount of evidence pointing towards human-caused or anthropogenic climate change is just overwhelming and can't be argued with.
Oh, Neil. So global warming is the term we always hear in the media, but you mentioned climate change. Now, what is climate change?
Well, calling human-caused changes to the planet global warming is a bit misleading since there are so many changes that are predicted to occur, including even cooling trends in certain places.
Now, Neil, cooling, or is it warming? Is it cooling or is it warming, or is it cooling or is it warming, Neil?
It's mostly a warming trend, but there are so many changes that occur, we can't just call it global warming.
Well, okay, global level, but locally, I haven't really noticed climate change. In fact, I wrecked my SUV on ice this morning on the way to work.
Sorry to hear that.
Had I been drinking? Yes, I had, Neil, but that's not the point. The point is, Neil, that there's ice on the ground and there are snowstorms everywhere, so warming, climate change, please explain that.
Well, that's what makes it so hard for us to get the message about climate change across. These changes happen over many years. Just because we had a really cold winter does not mean that the current trend, or that the overall trend isn't increasing. And the temperature trend is increasing. You can't argue with this. How would you explain the glaciers melting? What else causes ice to melt?
It's just a natural Earth's process, man. There'll be an ice age down the road, something. There's always something. But, but does CO2, does carbon dioxide actually even cause temperature rise? Do you know anything about that?
Levels are increasing at a rate that has not been seen in recent history, and our planet does not respond well to rapid change. This trend of warming over time matches exactly with the trend of atmospheric CO2, and therefore we are at risk for rapidly increasing temperatures. Let me give you some more evidence here.
You know what, Neil? I'm sick of your evidence. I'm kind of sick of you. I'm sick of climate change. I'm sick of everything that has to do with anything. So we're going to cut to Rebecca, and hopefully she has a great report on something that's not this.
Thanks, Brent. I'm standing in what used to be a forest, and is a small example of deforestation that is taking place all over the world. It is predicted that already 80% of our world's forests have disappeared. This is very important to our climate because they are huge carbon sinks. Also, 80% of the world's biodiversity lives or can be found in rainforests. So why are we destroying them if they're so valuable? Well, 48% of forests are cut down to use for cattle ranching. Another 32% is for commercial food production, and 14% is for logging. So we need to protect our forests because in a few years, the whole world will look just like this. Back to you, Brent.
Well, forests suck anyway. Let's go to a piece about oceans.
Thanks, Brent. This segment was supposed to take place in the Maldives, but unfortunately I'm all out of frequent flyer miles. The Maldives is the lowest country in the world in terms of average feet above sea level. Unfortunately, they'll probably be totally gone by the year 2100. That's the projection that most scientists are giving out. And you'd be able to see that for yourself if we had a bit more money on this show. Back to you.
So what you're saying is that the surf is going to be wicked rad. Awesome. I'm okay with that. Cancun's going to be shredding this summer. Okay, so what is that? All right, yeah, we have time. We have time for one final fluff piece about cute little animals, hopefully. So Santiago, take it away.
Thank you, Brent. Today I want to talk a little bit about amphibians. Amphibians lie among the most vulnerable creatures in response to changes in their environment. Since the past few decades, we have seen that these creatures have been disappearing all over the world. And these organisms act as indicators of how well an ecosystem is doing, and therefore we should take this alarming news into real consideration. Amphibian extinction is showing us that ecosystems are beginning to feel the impacts of global climate change, and that if nothing is done about it, then it could lead to other mass extinctions. I just leave you with that thought in mind, Brent, and with some images of these beautiful creatures. Thank you.
Okay then, here's Abby with a report of what's going on in the mountains. Hopefully those slopes are shredding hard.
Thanks, Brent. These are some pictures showing how much glaciers have been receding. Major glaciers have entirely disappeared from the Andes, and the Himalayas have lost a third of the snow. It's not looking good for glaciers. Back to you.
Super. With some final thoughts about global warming and whether or not it is a hoax, which it is, here is field reporter Jeremy.
Business as usual.
Thanks, Jeremy. Super insightful stuff. Well, that closes the night out for us here at Coyote News. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep on keeping on.